Weird, the Al Yankovic Story, out on Roku, new comedy starring Daniel Radcliffe as Al Yankovic, an American musician known primarily for his parodies of existing popular songs. Initially, I thought it would be a regular biopic, but as it turns out, it is exactly what we should have expected from Weird Al, who co-wrote the script himself. It's a parody of music biopics. It's an outrageously fictionalized version of his life story, which ruthlessly pokes fun at popular tropes from music biopics. The unsupportive parents, the initial dislike of the record labels, the first overwhelming success and the pride that comes with it, the breakup of the band, etc., etc. Some of those elements it takes exactly as they are in most of those music biopics, and the humor sort of comes from the fact that for Weird Al himself, nothing like those things ever happened. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of his music or into his career, but everything I've ever heard about him seems to indicate that he's about the nicest man ever. Never got in any trouble, never was an asshole to anyone, never abused drugs, never had any scandals. All of his shows are amazing. So the movie either pretends that he did all those things, or in some cases just invents plot points which would have been ridiculous even in a more typical rock star biopic. There's a section of the film where Weird Al has to personally go to Pablo Escobar's compound in the Colombian jungle in order to kill him and his goons and save the kidnapped Madonna. Just utterly ridiculous, straight up foolish, at times pure slapstick. But you know what? It kind of works because the film doesn't pretend it's something it's not. It is very honestly silly in a kind of endearing way. And yeah, some of the humor is dumb, but it is also somewhat charming, and I'd lie if I said I didn't have fun watching it. There are numerous fun cameos, including one scene at a pool party, which is just staggeringly funny, with Weird Al being challenged to parody Another One Bites the Dust by Queen on the spot. There's a number of people around their celebrity cameos which are just hilarious. Daniel Radcliffe is having an enormous amount of fun in the film, and even though he looks nothing like Weird Al and sounds nothing like Weird Al, it's not a problem because he doesn't sing the songs. The actual real Weird Al is dubbing them. I mean, it doesn't matter in the slightest because he's funny and charming, and of course the film was never meant to be serious or accurate. My one complaint about it would be that as funny and enjoyable as it is, it does kind of feel like a rehash of Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, the 2007 movie about a fictional musician, which kind of did everything that Weird is doing right now, which was to absolutely demolish the typical music biopic genre. Some of the story beats are identical, some of the comedy elements are identical, and there are moments where I thought to myself, hang on, well, this would be superb if I saw this for the first time ever now, but I already did see it somewhere else and it was probably done even better then. So essentially it just suffers from not being the first of its kind or the best of its kind. Other than that, of course, it is mostly directed at fans of Weird Al. I'm sure if you know his music more than I do, which was basically be at all, you will enjoy it much more than I did. But even as a casual viewer, I found it unapologetically silly and quite entertaining.